Happy Tuesday, everybody. The 14th day of July, 2020. This month is flying by. In fact, this will blow your mind. It's 3 weeks to primary election day. Yeah, in 3 weeks, we go to the polls and whittle the candidates down for the general election. The local county auditors will be mailing out your ballots. Of course, we vote by mail here in this state. I think late in the week, you should be getting them Saturday or maybe Monday at the latest, but you have a lot of time to make up your mind. But still, thought I'd throw that out there. 3 weeks to primary election day. Beautiful day outside of our studio, 61 degrees. Yesterday at this time, it was chilly. It was 54. Whew. Ephrata yesterday tied a record. Ephrata's low temperature yesterday at the airport in Ephrata, where they measure these things, was 50 degrees, and that tied the record for the coldest July 13th in Ephrata. So there you go. It was a chilly day out in the Columbia Basin. Another beautiful day today, sunny and warm and very, very pleasant. Going to heat up, then we're going to cool down. We're worried a little bit about some elevated fire risk coming up towards the weekend. Winds will be picking up in intensity. It's going to be hot. Could see a red flag warning. Complete weather forecast details are coming up. Fire in the news. Pretty nerve-wracking few hours for the folks in the lower Sunny Slope area. We'll talk about that. Got some footage of the fire that is now, well, done with. They're doing mop-up as we speak. Also pretty good news on the Road 11 fire as well and all the other headlines. We finally have baseball highlights to show for you. It was an inter-squad game at T-Mobile Park, but it's something. Getting closer and closer to the abbreviated baseball season and everything else that you need to get your day going. And in the back half, we showed these last week and got quite a nice response, so we thought we'd do them again. It's a series of videos that was produced and put together by the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center as the Curator's Corner, taking you into the dark recesses of the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. They have quite a bit of storage. It's, of course, the old post office. Lots of square footage in there, and they have a lot of stuff stored in places that's not generally open to the public, and they kind of gave us a behind-the-scenes peek with Curator's Corners. These little 2-minute videos. We're going to play them all for you in the back half of the hour. Let's start our tour around the North Central Washington area, see what we got. Good morning, of course, to the Valley. The cross camera always begins our festivities. It is zoomed back and panned up just a little bit as we look out over the Wenatchee Valley. I don't see a cloud in the sky. And again, it's going to be sunny and warm and pleasant. Great stretch of weather. Absolutely zero rain in the forecast. We could use, actually, the rain. Just throwing this out there, by early next week, by this time next week, Monday and Tuesday, we could be near 100 if the computer models are in agreement. So the long-term forecast is going to be for some serious July weather next week. We got to get there first. Good morning, Wenatchee Valley. Camera 2. Where's Megan taking us to? Well, there you go. That was where the fire was yesterday. You can see it plain as day. It was a very scary moment. We had a lot of people watching the progress of the fire on our Facebook feed, and I think you can even see where some of the retardant was dropped. Burned about 140 acres. Crews are still there. They're doing some mop-up work. We'll give you the details on that, but that's a view of what was burning yesterday afternoon. Fire, no good. Camera number 3. It is a beautiful view. We're heading up to, let me think here. Is that Waterville? The Waterville camera. Hey, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Megan. I believe we're looking right at Earthquake Point, right across the Columbia River. There. We were playing golf at Desert Canyon, I don't know, it must have been 15 years ago. And we were on the first hole, and you can see Earthquake Point, even though it's a long way away. And there was a sizable rock slide that came all the way across both lanes of the highway and went right into the Columbia River, even across the railroad tracks. And we could see it, and then about 25 seconds later, you could hear it. It was an eerie sight indeed. Blocked traffic for quite some time. That was a number of years ago now. Can't remember exactly when. Good morning to our friends up in the Aniad area in Lake Aniad. Camera number 4 is going to be a Lake Wenatchee. I love that camera. That is definitely on my top 10 of cameras. Billy Goat probably still number 1. Cross camera is in the top 10, but that beautiful overview of the Lake Wenatchee area is absolutely one of my favorites. Just a new camera. We just put it up not long ago. Dirty Face Mountain is there. You can hike up to the top of Dirty Face. It is quite a hike. Lots of switchbacks. You got to be in shape, but when you get to the top, the view from the top of Dirty Face is absolutely stunning, and you can see almost all of Lake Wenatchee. You can even see where the Wenatchee River gets moving on its journey down to the Columbia River, which then in turn journeys into the Pacific Ocean, which doesn't journey anywhere, which is probably good. So that's her tour around the valley here. At 6 minutes after the hour, we're a little worried about what may be happening towards the end of the week, especially Thursday and Friday. Here in the Wenatchee Valley and out in the Columbia Basin, the winds will be picking up, and the relative humidity, what they call RH there, is going to be down there. Relative humidity is going to be in the teens. That's bone dry. You take that and the warm temperatures and the strong winds, certainly an elevated risk for any kind of grass fire or sage fire, which is what we had yesterday. But luckily, we had almost no wind at all, and so they were able to get on top of that fire in the lower sunny slope area. Any kind of fire that breaks out Thursday and Friday, and we're going to be in the 90s, by the way, on Thursday before the cold front comes in. No red flag warning yet. They're kind of holding their breath on that one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they issue a red flag warning, at least for Thursday, maybe not so much for Friday. It's going to be a little bit cooler, but we're going to keep a very close eye on that. Okay. From Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, who gives your home a hug. The National Weather Service provides our forecast, and there you go. Sunny, warm, pleasant, high of about 90 degrees. Now, for the record, we only hit 81 yesterday. Our normal high is 87, so it was cooler than normal, and it was 54 yesterday for the overnight low, and our normal overnight low was 61. So it was a cooler than normal Monday. It didn't really feel like it, by the way. Oh, I haven't mentioned this. Sunrise this morning, 5:19. Sunset tonight, 8:54. That means 15 hours and 35 minutes of daylight. We've lost 9 minutes of daylight, by the way, over the last 7 days, over the last week. So sunny and pleasant, about 90, 59 for the overnight low tonight. Warmer still on Wednesday, as we still have a high pressure ridge settled in there. 91, 63 for the overnight low. And then a cold front off the Pacific Ocean is going to cool temperatures down on Friday. But as it comes in Wednesday night into Thursday, it's going to get windy. The wind will first start kicking up Wednesday night, a west wind about 6 to 13 miles an hour. With gust highs 21 miles an hour. This is overnight Wednesday into Thursday with an overnight low of 63. Thursday is going to be the windiest day. A west wind about 5 to 11 mile an hour, but we could see gusts around the 20 mile an hour mark, and as you can see, we'll top off at 91 degrees. So that's the real day that fire may get out of control, and we're going to see a few passing high clouds on Thursday as the cold front comes in. The cold air will be hanging around on Friday. It's all relative, cooler air anyway. 87 is still plenty warm for most people. And then we start warming up again. Saturday 90, Sunday 93, Monday 96. Grant seems to think we could top 100 by Wednesday of next week. Haven't hit triple digits in a while. We'll have to do the research and find out when was the last time we got to triple digits. But that's your forecast. Pretty typical, sunny, warm, pleasant July weather, but a little concerned about the wind Wednesday night and into Thursday. 8.5 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. There is a lot of news to get to on this Tuesday. It's an adult portion of news, but we don't check identification. You'll be good to go. We'll have it for you 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
This hasn't been easy for any of us, and we don't know all that lies ahead. But as local business owners, we can't wait to welcome you back. So as we reopen, we'll be wearing masks. We all have different opinions about them, but standing with your neighbor sometimes means standing in the uncomfortable. And you can stand with us by wearing a mask when you visit.
Sorrento's restaurant at Chelan's Cellars provides a unique dining experience. The dining room provides a spectacular view of the Lake Chelan Valley. Lunch and dinner are served daily, and the weekend brunch is something that must be experienced and won't soon be forgotten. From the menu to the music, nothing is overlooked. At Sorrento's, you will always be impressed, especially when you discover how close and how affordable luxury can be. It's all within your reach at Sorrento's at Chelan's Cellars.
10 minutes after the hour, right at the 60-degree mark. We'll be pushing 90 today, and the same deal on Wednesday. Cool down Wednesday night into Thursday, and warm right back up for the weekend. A little windy, though, on Thursday. Here's your headlines, and we start out with a sunset fire at the base of Sunny Slope. Burning about 140 acres, threatened several neighborhoods between noon and 4 o'clock yesterday before finally being contained. Firefighters from numerous agencies were able to stop the fast-moving fire in its tracks. They used planes, helicopters, bulldozers, and hand crews. Several neighborhoods in the area were issued level 2 evacuation notices, meaning, of course, prepare to leave. Chelan County Fire District Chief Brian Brett said by late afternoon substantial progress had been made on the fire, which earlier had swept across the vacant hillside. No structures were lost. The cause of the fire under investigation. Easy Street, which was closed for much of the fire, was reopened to traffic at about 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Local crews remained on the scene throughout the night, and they began mop-up work at sunrise this morning. Brett had requested state mobilization for the fire, which would bring in outside crews and give local firefighters a break. That request was subsequently canceled. As of this morning, the Road 11 fire is over 75% contained after menacing the town of Mansfield through the weekend. Things around the fire perimeter starting to return to normal. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies reopened McNeil Canyon Road and Highway 172, which were closed throughout the weekend to make room for the fire vehicles. The Type 3 incident team in charge of the fire response spent the day hardening their fire lines. A number of outbuildings were lost, as you see there, and a home was damaged by the 10,000-acre blaze, which was expected to be fully contained later this afternoon, maybe Wednesday. The cause of the fire remains under investigation, but it's good news for the folks up there. A 12-year-old boy was seriously injured Saturday morning when the personal watercraft he was operating collided with a ski boat on the Columbia River. The accident happened near the Sunland community. That's in Grant County, not far from the Gorge Amphitheater. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said at about 10:30 a.m. on Saturday morning, the Western Washington youth steered into the path of a 1980 AGC roundabout ski boat being operated by Alex England of Bow, Washington. The boy went under the boat and was struck by the propeller. He was taken by helicopter to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee and then later transferred to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where he was listed in stable condition. A passenger on the watercraft, another 12-year-old boy, was treated for minor injuries. England not injured in the accident. The sheriff's office said there was no indication anyone involved in the accident was impaired. A Chelan man convicted of child molestation almost 30 years ago is headed back to prison for reoffending. 56-year-old Timothy Wade Cook pled guilty on Monday to charges of molesting 3 different youths and to a count of promoting commercial sexual abuse of a minor. He took that plea to avoid the more stringent sentence for a charge of first-degree child molestation. Cook admitted abusing the victims between the years 1998 and 2017. All were boys between the ages of 12 and 16. Cook was previously convicted of child sexual abuse in 1992. When he's sentenced on August 17th, he could receive anywhere from 20 years to life in prison. An East Wenatchee woman is dead after a Saturday night highway crash near the town of Monroe. The Washington State Patrol says 35-year-old Catherine Zachariah was killed after her 2013 Subaru Impreza crossed the center line at about 10:15 in the evening on Saturday. Happened on Highway 522 near the junction with Highway 2. She was traveling westbound, struck an eastbound Mazda CX-5. Zachariah was pronounced dead at the scene. She was the sole occupant of her vehicle. All 3 occupants in the Mazda, including a 4-year-old child, treated for injuries at Providence Medical Center in Everett. Trooper Anthony Reese with the Washington State Patrol says the cause of the crash, including whether drugs or alcohol were involved, remains under investigation. The state says way too many people are killing beneficial bees in recent weeks, thinking they're murder hornets. The State Department of Agriculture said yesterday they've received hundreds of reports of Asian giant hornets from throughout the state, but of all the samples they've received, only 2 were the so-called murder hornets, and both of those came from the Bellingham area. Instead, people are more often killing bumblebees, which are important pollinators. Bumblebees have dense hair. Asian giant hornets have no hair. In addition, yellow jackets are being mistaken for the murder hornets. Yellow jackets are beneficial for pest control, and of course they have yellow markings. Murder hornets have orange markings. 4 members of the Washington National Guard jumped into action on Saturday when they came upon a motorcycle accident on I-90 near Vantage. According to the Guard, the accident had just happened at about 3:30 in the afternoon when the guardsmen saw the injured motorcyclist lane in the left-hand westbound lane of the freeway and the motorcycle line in the roadway. Private August Johnson and Private First Class Zeramai Tagbass and an off-duty first responder gave first aid to the motorcyclist, while Sergeant Grant Angle and Private First Class Chase Flanagan directed traffic. The four removed the motorcyclist from the freeway and cleared up most of the debris before the Washington State Patrol arrived. The motorcyclist was taken to the hospital with a possible wrist fracture. State Patrol said he was approaching the Vantage Bridge when he lost control on a curve. Heads up for you fans of the Loop Trail. The Chelan County PUD began work Monday on a paving project in Walla Walla Point Park that will mean a different route out of the park and some short detours on the Apple Capital Recreational Loop Trail. While the exit route from the park is repaved, the entrance roadway will become a two-way drive. That work is expected to continue through Thursday. Repaving on the trail itself is expected to wrap up later on today. Signs have been posted alerting drivers and trail users of the work. Finally, how would you like a free truck? Yeah, there you go. Doesn't run, doesn't have an engine. This one is on property. It's owned by the Chelan Douglas Land Trust. You want it? It's yours. The truck lies abandoned on property near the White River, and managers say it's free to whoever wants to use it. The Land Trust just wants it gone. Can't blame them for that. You want to email Dave Morgan there. You see his email address on your screen. You can give Dave a call if you want to make arrangements. The Land Trust says it's a great opportunity for anybody who likes to restore old vehicles or can use the parts for some other creative project. Looks like that truck has been there for a long time. And that's what's making the headlines at 17 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday. The team will be putting together another newscast, gathering news, disseminating news, and at 5, 6, and 10, you can watch the news on this very TV station, or you can watch it on demand on your smart device. And with the preview, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, the partial shutdown of the Colville tribal government currently in effect has now been extended until midnight on September 30th. More on that. I'll have your warmer North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be here with a look at sports. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thank you, Grant. We'd love to hear from you, man. Our Facebook page was popping after that sunset fire broke out in the lower Sunny Slope area yesterday. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. You can use Facebook. Go to our Facebook page, go to Facebook Messenger, write us a note. Love to hear from you. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com, or you can contact us using the Contact Us icon at the top of our website, ncwlife.com. That's our homepage. Going to take a break. When we come back, we got sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Everybody's entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. We're going to replay those little vignettes, those little video montages called Curator's Corner from the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. All coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my name is Manuel Navarro, Chief Operating Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. Patient safety is our top priority, including providing care that just can't wait. With enhanced safety precautions, we want to ensure you that we're able to continue providing safe and efficient in-person care at our clinic. From in-car check-in, ongoing screening, immediate rooming, your family can get the safe care that they deserve here at Columbia Valley Community Health.
The response that I saw from Works reminded me about what a great company this has always been.
While some businesses have probably just tried to hunker down and survive, Blair and the team at Works have said this is an opportunity to become even better, to give more value to our members. I think it's amazing.
Blair's attitude is safety first.
I just really appreciated feeling like I wasn't forgotten about.
20 minutes after the hour, sports. The nice thing about doing an inter-squad game is at least half the team gets to claim victory, and they had one yesterday at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners continue to work out in preparation for the season opener. The first game of the year is next Friday, a week from this Friday, against Houston in Houston. 60 players are in town trying to make the roster. youngsters have stepped up pretty good so far in camp. Kyle Lewis has been hitting the cover off the ball and finally made an out in his third inter-squad game yesterday. Meanwhile, Jared Kellenick went deep twice in yesterday's game.
First one, I was looking for something soft. I didn't think that his fastball was going to beat me. Wanted to stay through the left side of the field with it, and was just going to take the approach of a fastball that I was just going to react to it, especially if it was in. And that's kind of just what happened. I believe I took a first pitch curveball that I thought was a ball, and then the next pitch was just a fastball that I reacted and got the head out and smell you later. And then the last one, kind of the same thing. I was looking soft late in the at-bat. I was looking for a fastball early, and wanted to see him out over the plate. He's got some natural cut. And then the curveball, I was just trying to see if it was going to pop. And he threw it, but it was a ball. And I didn't think that he was going to come back to it. And same thing, though. It's just kind of a reaction.
The 7 people there made quite a lot of noise. One of the players Scott Service is particularly pleased to see play well is Kyle Lewis. The outfielder, of course, made his major league debut last fall. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed a paragraph. Sorry, I was too busy making a joke. Let's hear from Scott Service getting ready to watch some real baseball next week first.
First of all, I think for me, driving home last night, kind of thinking about the games and what we've watched here the first few days, I'm pumped. I really am. Really excited about what I've seen so far, and it's been great having all the young players in here and getting them the exposure that we've gotten them. So again, I'm super encouraged about what I've seen. Can't wait to start extending these games out a little bit more and building our pitching up there and see more at bats from our guys. So like I said, I'm really pumped on where we're at.
Now we're ready to talk about Kyle Lewis, who made his major league debut last fall and just started out like gangbusters. Then he started working out in the off season. He's in pretty good shape. He's hitting the ball so well that Service would like to, well, we'll let Scott explain.
We want to wrap him in saran wrap right now and just stick him in a box somewhere and bring him. We'll put him on the plane to go to Houston. He's been great. Just looks phenomenal, and we really saw it from the first workout here, and it's carried over into the games. But it's been fun to watch. Sky is the limit. I keep saying that with Kyle, but the bat and the power's there. I'm really encouraged by what I've seen when I'm in the outfield as well. I think his jumps have been very good in center field, very comfortable out there. Needs to continue to work. A little bit different throwing angles, obviously to the bases, and I think teams will challenge him early on, just because maybe haven't seen him in center field that much. But for right now, I couldn't ask for anything more on what we've seen out of Kyle Lewis, and just see what today brings.
So for the Mariners, they just keep right on playing inter-squad games at T-Mobile Park, and they're going to start whittling that roster down. And opening day again, 1 week from Friday, against the defending American League champion Houston Astros down in Houston. In fact, the Mariners' first 10 games are on the road before they come home. Organizers of one of the largest 3-on-3 basketball tournaments anywhere has decided to cancel. We saw this one coming. Hoop Fest in Spokane already moved its date back from July to August, but now with the spike in COVID-19 cases in Spokane County, organizers have decided to pull the plug on Hoop Fest. This would have been the 31st annual event in downtown Spokane. Brings about 6,000 teams, 250,000 people. Not only is it a hit for basketball fans, but the region usually rakes in about $50 million during Hoop Fest that they're not going to see this year. Spokane County is in phase 2 of the state's reopening plan, but has seen a spike in positive tests for COVID in the last couple of weeks. Hoop Fest organizers felt they'd never get to phase 3 in time for the tournament, so it was best just to cancel it. Now, locally, of course, we have the annual Sunburn Classic, which is typically the last weekend in July. It used to be in Wenatchee, now it's in East Wenatchee. And the Eastmont Metro Parks website still lists last year's information. We've reached out to tournament organizer J.D. Taylor, our good friend, as well as the Parks Department, to see if they're going to have an event this year. But some things are going to go on, like our sports broadcast schedule. Let's take a look at what we got coming up. this week. It begins with hockey on Thursday as the Wenatchee Wild host the Merritt Centennials in a game from last September. Arch Ecker with the call at 7 o'clock Thursday night. On Friday, we're going to re-air last Saturday's race at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. That starts at 6:30. The 2 o'clock features Saturday, another great game of our past, with Eastmont and Rogers playing girls basketball from December 2017 at the Town Toyota Center. And then we're live at the WVSO Saturday night, 6 o'clock. More racing action is being called now. Legends of Thunder and more. Again, no fans in the stands. Sorry, folks. That's why we're doing it on TV, but we're going to have it for you live. Classes featured will be the Economy Midgets, the Northwest Focus Midget Series, Plum Perfect Roadrunners, Holidays Custom Muffler B Modifieds, the Bandoleros, and the Tri-State Legends, 6 o'clock. All the action on Localtel Channel 12. If you got charter, it's Channel 19. We're going to stream it on our website and stream it on our Facebook page as well. Looking forward to it. 26 minutes after the hour. That's just some of the games that people are playing. The Obscura Holiday, there's 3 of them to choose from. Today is National Mac and Cheese Day. Now, we did National Macaroni Day last week, and I just kind of added the cheese because I added the cheese. Today is National Tape Measure Day, but no, today is International Nude Day. I could find no photo anywhere that would allow me to keep my job and keep our FCC license. It all goes back to a day in June about 20 years ago when television personality, I guess that's what we call ourselves, by the name of Mark Ellis, who had a TV show in New Zealand, dared his viewers to go streaking in front of the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Helen Clark. She luckily had a sense of humor. A bunch of people did it. It caught on, and now it's International Nude Day today. There are some health benefits to not wearing any clothes. It's true. There are those who study Alzheimer's disease that believe there's a lower risk of getting Alzheimer's if you're barefoot all the time. They figure walking barefoot stimulates neurons to the brain, better circulation. You're not being restricted by clothing. Fun facts about the human body. You know, it's actually possible to brush your teeth too aggressively. My dentist told me this. You can wear down the enamel in your teeth, and it makes your teeth sensitive to hot or cold liquids. Wisdom teeth serve no purpose whatsoever. That's why if they have them, they suggest that you have them pulled. They're left over from hundreds of thousands of years ago as the brains in the human skull grew bigger and bigger as man developed. It reduced space in the mouth, and eventually that third set of molars got crowded out. Get rid of the old wisdom teeth. They don't do any good. Humans are the only animals with chins. Skin is the largest organ in the human body. It comprises 15% of a person's total weight. Blood makes up about 8% of your total body weight. The human nose can detect about 1 trillion different kinds of smells. And if you didn't have a nose, you'd only have 1 cheek. But how would you wear glasses? Celebrate International Nude Day today. Just don't send me any photos. 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history, it's never a good idea to have a prison right in the middle of town. The Bastille was right smack dab in the middle of Gay Paris. It was an armory. It was a fortress. It was a political prison. If you didn't like what the king was doing, he'd toss you in the Bastille. And 231 years ago today, July 14th, 1789, it was the flashpoint of the French Revolution. They stormed the Bastille. Inside the prison, they had inmates, 7 of them, 7. What they were looking for was ammunition, guns, gunpowder, revolution. There was some of that there. The prison was basically seen as a symbol of the abuse of power of the monarchy, so they stormed it. About 100 of the people who stormed the Bastille died. They were planning on tearing the darn thing down anyway, and the revolutionaries in Paris kind of beat them to it. The storming of the Bastille on this date 231 years ago today. July 14th, 1798, 222 years ago today, the Sedation Act. The Sedition Act became law in the United States. It was actually, this is absolutely true. It's hard to believe now in today's age. But the Sedition Act made it a federal crime to write, publish, or utter false or malicious statements about the United States government. I kid you not. John Adams signed it into law. It expired. It had a 3-year window. They just let it quietly expire 3 years later, but it pretty much paved the way for Thomas Jefferson to defeat John Adams in the presidential election of 1800. I don't know what they were thinking there. Billy the Kid met his maker 139 years ago today. Why they have romanticized Billy the Kid is beyond me. He killed a bunch of people. He was just a bloodthirsty, merciless killer. Pat Garrett, the sheriff down there in New Mexico, shot and killed Billy the Kid outside Fort Sumner. There was a bounty, Billy the Kid, $500, dead or alive. The sheriff went to the governor and said, "I'm here to get my $500." The governor was out of town. The lieutenant governor, who was in charge, said, "Nope, not going to give you the $500." So you know what happened? All the residents of all the New Mexico towns that Billy the Kid was terrorizing raised a bunch of money and gave Pat Garrett $7,000. And he eventually also got his $500 back. Happened on this date 139 years ago today. 109 years ago today, some idiot landed a plane on the south lawn of the White House. Harry Atwood was his name. He worked for the Wright brothers. This was 1911. This was a long time ago. He actually landed his airplane on the south lawn of the White House. For his efforts, he was awarded a gold medal by President William Howard Taft. In the 1970s, some guy stole a helicopter and landed it on the south lawn of the White House. He was arrested. In 1994, another guy tried to land a plane in the White House. He crashed it into the south portico and died. If you try to land a plane on the White House now, you don't get a gold medal. You get arrested if you survive. And finally, the football war broke out on this day 51 years ago today. Honduras lost a soccer match to El Salvador. It was a World Cup qualifier. There was already bad blood between El Salvador and Honduras. After the match, riots broke out in Honduras against El Salvadorian migrant workers, and before you know it, these two countries went to war. They went to war. Now, the hostilities have been building up for a while, but the lost soccer match actually started the war. It didn't last very long. They didn't have any armaments. They were using leftover junk from World War II to fight each other, the football war. Man, they take that sport seriously in some countries, don't they? 33 minutes after the hour. Birthdays. A.B. Happy Chandler was a politician. He was a senator from Kentucky, two-time governor of Kentucky. For me, the most important thing that A.B. Happy Chandler did is that he became the second commissioner of baseball. After Kennesaw Mountain Landis died, A.B. Happy Chandler took over in 1945 as the second commissioner of baseball, and he green-lighted Jackie Robinson to come play Major League Baseball. Kennesaw Mountain Landis was dead set against it. There will be no African Americans in Major League Baseball. A.B. Happy Chandler, even though he's from the South, said, yeah, no, as long as you can play baseball, I don't care if your skin is purple. If you can play baseball to the Major League Baseball, you should. A.B. Happy Chandler, terribly underappreciated, made it happen, or at least didn't get in the way. Born in the state in 1898, lived a long time, lived to the age of 92. Woody Guthrie, an American songwriting legend, born in the state in 1912, died young, 55, at the age of 55 in 1967. Dust Bowl Ballads, the album, should be in everybody's record collection. This Land Is Your Land, Roll on Columbia, Grand Coulee Dam, Worried Man Blues, Pastures of Plenty, the Great American Songbook. Woody Guthrie belongs in there. Woody Guthrie was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You wouldn't think so, but it's true. He played a significant role in the folk revival of the 1960s. Woody Guthrie, born in the state in 1912. We always do presidents. Gerald R. Ford, born in the state in 1913, lived a long, long life. Died the day after Christmas, 2006, at the age of 93. He was the 38th president of the United States. The only person to serve as vice president and president without being elected to either office, of course. His presidency was 895 days long. That makes it the shortest of any president who didn't die in office. He was born Leslie Lynch King. His parents divorced shortly after he was born. His mother remarried. He loved his stepfather. He never saw his real father. His stepfather's name was Gerald Ford, and his name was changed legally from Leslie Lynch King to Gerald R. Ford. Ford is the only president who was an Eagle Scout. There you go. And Gerald Ford, of course, was a collegiate All-American center at the University of Michigan in the early 1930s, and a class act, too, I might add, born in the state of 1913. And as you all know, I follow Japanese pop music. It's one of my things. I'm into that. So we want to wish a happy 27th birthday to Sayaka Yakamoto, the Japanese singer who's 27 years old today. Pick up all of her albums. Don't understand a word she's singing, but you know, what the heck. 36 minutes after the hour, we're going to take a break. Everyone's entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion, and then we're going to replay Curator's Corner, because it's pretty cool, and a lot of people said we'd like that. Can you air it again? And I said, sure we can. You're going to like these little videos put together by the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. They're coming up. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Atención, su colaboración es muy importante para usted y su familia. El coronavirus o COVID-19 no va a desaparecer en el futuro inmediato. Con su colaboración podemos crear un plan de acción para abrir la economía otra vez de manera segura con la información de este estudio de 250 pruebas médicas. Su participación es muy importante para que todos en la comunidad estemos representados con la información crítica para abrir nuestro distrito comercial a todos, protegiéndonos del riesgo de un futuro cierre económico. Las pruebas son voluntarias y los resultados son gratis y completamente confidenciales. Busquen su buzón de correo en casa para obtener más información sobre cómo puede ayudarnos en comunidad a reabrir de manera segura. Estamos aquí para apoyarnos mutuamente. Gracias por su colaboración.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, one of my biggest regrets in life is this. I was at a baseball game once at the Kiwanis Oval in Caldwell, New Jersey, and the opposing team's first baseman was giving the first base umpire really a hard time. He's making fun of him, ridiculing his calls, etc., and I don't know why this ump didn't toss the guy out of the game. He should have, but there were 2 outs, and there was a hit to the shortstop who threw the ball to this jerk of a first baseman, and though the throw beat the runner, the first baseman jerk's heel came off the bag before he caught the ball. Now, I was right at the first base line, and I saw this. Now, the umpire called the runner safe, which he was, but the first baseman said something like, forget that, something like that, and he and his team ran off the field as they thought there were 3 outs. Now, the umpire didn't say anything, and my regret is, neither did I. Now, I was just a kid, but come on. There's just some regrets you never forget. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
How do you know when it's time to go to Boswell's Furniture? When you know the look you love, the colors you want, but need a little design help to bring it all together. With Boswell's complimentary design service, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa guide you until your vision becomes reality. More styles, more fabrics, and more choices of quality home furnishings fill Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom, so you can see it and feel it before you buy. Come into Boswell's and explore the endless possibilities of home furnishings. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
What's it mean to be free? To go to work, to go to school, or even go to the park?
In historic proportions, we've had our freedom jeopardized.
Was it all necessary for so long? As a business owner, I know what it's like to work with all different people with all different backgrounds. I promise to work hard to find common ground. This is a time that we need a leader that's willing to serve the people rather than to be served. I'm Joshua Freed, and I'm running for governor.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Hi, welcome back to Curator's Corner. I'm Anna Spencer. This is Jill Sheets. Today we'll be going into our collections room to show you a couple trophies we have. So welcome. Here we are in the part of the museum where we hold a couple of our trophies. Today I want to highlight this one. This is a loving cup from 1908. It was awarded to the Red Apple Real Estate at the National Apple Show in Spokane. It was awarded second prize for the single largest apple. As you can see, it's hollow, and it has many decorative apple blossoms around it. I would say it's about 5 pounds. It's about 18 inches high, about 14.5 inches wide.
What does it say?
It says second prize for the largest single apple at the National Apple Show, December 7th through the 12th, 1908, Spokane, Washington.
So that's second prize.
Second prize.
I wonder how big the biggest apple is.
I know. I'd also like to show you another loving cup from the National Apple Show. This one is from 1912. This one was given to Jacob Shawns of Eagle Ranch for the best 10 boxes of Rome Beauties.
Rome Beauty apples.
Yes, Rome Beauty apples. This was presented by Lewis W. Hill, who was the son of James Hill, the founder of the Great Northern Railway. And that's why you see their logo there in the front. And then again, at the National Apple Show in Spokane. This is what it looks like.
How heavy is that?
This one is not as heavy as the other one. It's not as big. I can show for scale.
What's inside?
This one is also hollow. Thank you, and join us next time as we discover something cool and interesting in our collection. Hi, I'm Anna Spencer, Collections Coordinator here at the Wenatchee Valley Museum, and today we're going to start a series called Curator's Corner, and I'm going to be taking you through the museum, showing you items in our collection that you would not normally see on display in the museum. Today I'll be joined by Jill Sheets, and we'll be taking on a tour. Let's go. Today we're going to be entering into room C003. This room holds many different artifacts. And today we're going to be coming down this aisle and highlighting one of our apple blossom crowns. The crown that we'll be highlighting today was designed in 1959 by Fern Cousineau Duncan. This was the very first permanent crown to be in rotation for the Apple Blossom Festival, and it was used between 1960 and 1967. Before that, Fern would design individual crowns for all the queens. This one she designed, but it was sent to a jewelry firm in New York to be placed together, and then it was sent back before the festival for the queen to wear.
Is it heavy?
Yeah, it's about 1/2 pound.
And what's it made of?
It's made of a silver metal material and glass-laid gems, also with some blue stones.
What's the inside look like?
Inside had to have some refurbished parts, and it was resoldered to keep a lot of the gems in place.
Who wore it?
The first queen to wear it was Peggy Kinney.
And what year was that?
That was in 1960.
I want to try it on. Huh. It's very pretty.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week to find out what the Loving Cup is and who won it in 1908. Welcome back to Curator's Corner. I'm Anna Spencer. This is Jill Sheets.
Hello.
Today we're going to go in through the museum archives and getting out some items that highlight Miss Vidal and her historic flight, including some items that belong to Clyde Pangborn. Let's go. The items that we're highlighting today come from Japan, and they are commemorating the 60th anniversary of the Miss Vidal flight.
And what's in the can?
The can is Japanese beer.
Huh.
And on it has world's first non-stop trans-Pacific flight, 1931, Misawa, Japan, to Wenatchee, USA.
So these are from 1991.
1991, yes. And that is the beer can, and then this is the bottle of sake. And it has the flight path with Miss Vidal in it. It's a sister city, Wenatchee, Misawa.
Huh. Did they sell these?
I don't believe so. I think they were just given out as commemorative items.
Huh.
You
Very
know,
interesting.
you know what goes good with beer and wine?
What?
A sandwich. The item that we're going to highlight today also coincides with the historic Miss Vidal flight. It comes in this box. It's wrapped in cellophane, and it is a sandwich belonging to Clyde Pangborn.
A sandwich.
A sandwich.
Half a sandwich.
Half a sandwich, yes. This sandwich is said to have gone on the historic flight with Clyde Pangborn and Hugh Herndon, starting in Japan, landing in East Wenatchee. And it was wrapped and kept in a tin can.
And we have the tin can?
And we have it today.
So this sandwich is from 1931.
This sandwich is from 1931.
My bread doesn't last a week.
Yes, it's very dried out. But also...
Do we know what kind of sandwich it is?
I don't. It is not clarified.
So it's a Japanese sandwich?
Yes.
Can we see the tin?
Yes. It is a cut plug tobacco tin. This is what the sandwich came in.
But it's not been stored in that.
No, it's been stored in a box and then air sealed in a bag. But taken out for your view.
Can I see the sides? Oh, it's all the same. Very cool.
Thanks for watching. Join us next time to see what cool and exciting things we find in our collection. Hi, I'm Anna Spencer. This is Jill Sheets.
Hello.
Welcome back to Curator's Corner. We're going to be going in this room here to find some cool and fun toys that we have. Some of the items we're going to show you today are a couple of toys and games we have in our collection. This coincides with our upcoming tomfoolery exhibit, and these toys and games are some that didn't make it into the exhibit, but we still wanted to show you behind the scenes. One of the first ones is this tin plane. It actually goes along with the Miss Vidal flight, because on it, it says Trans-Pacific Flight from Japan to Wenatchee, October 5th, 1931, and it's signed by Hugh Herndon and Clyde Pangborn.
Huh.
It's a little toy plane.
Is it tin?
Yes. Some of the other ones we have a tin car.
Now that was rolling by itself a little few minutes ago.
Yes, it very much works. Roll it backwards, it rolls itself forward. Some of the other items we have in here, we have some piggy banks. They're called. This one is a little terrier, still with his key attached. Put the money in his head, get it out of the bottom. And lastly, we have card game that we found. This is called How Silas Popped the Question.
A game.
A game. So pretty much... Oh, and this is from 1923. So pretty much you would pass out cards to your players.
We did read the instructions.
Yes. Pass out cards to your players. And it would go around in a circle, and all you would do is read the story. And so I would start and flip my card over, and it says, "Our old blind mule has kicked the bucket."
That's my turn.
Yes.
And I read my card.
Yes. And the next player
Ain't those called spit curls you're wearing?
would read their card. You would discard them. Then I would read the next one. It says, "How many eggs did your hen lay last week?" And then you would just form a whole entire story out of this card game. I wonder why it was created, but it is, as you can see, very amusing. Thanks for watching. Join us next time to see what cool and exciting things we find in our collection. Welcome back to Curator's Corner. I'm Anna Spencer. This is Jill Sheep. Today we're in another part of the museum that holds our collections, and we'll be heading into room A030 to look back at some history on the Wenatchee Chiefs. Today we'll be highlighting a piece of Wenatchee Chiefs baseball history. Specifically, this baseball right here is made out of horse leather and cork and is signed by the 1947 Wenatchee Chiefs baseball team. See a lot of the names, some have faded. The ball itself has discolored. It is up here with many other baseballs from the Chiefs.
How long were the Chiefs in Wenatchee?
The Chiefs started in 1937 and went through 1965, briefly stopping during World War II.
Did any of the Chiefs turn pro?
A few of the Chiefs turned pro. Bill Bevins went on to play for the New York Yankees. Cloud Osteen went on to play for the Oakland A's, and Ken Holtzman went on to play for the Chicago Cubs.
Did they ever win a pennant or anything?
The year before, 1947, the one that we just highlighted, 1946, they won the pennant, and that was the first year after the war that they were allowed to play again.
A lot of baseballs in there.
A lot of baseballs, a lot of sign balls.
And a trophy. I see a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
So, the ring, what's the ring?
The ring is from 1957 when they won the Northwestern Championship.
Huh.
Thank you, and join us next time as we discover something cool and interesting in our collection. Hi, welcome back to Curator's Corner. I'm Anna Spencer. This is Jill Sheets.
Hello.
Today we're going to be looking at some old Wenatchee High School Wawas. Here we have 3 Wenatchee Wawas, one from 1909, 1924, and 1928. As you can see, all the designs are very different. The 1909 is covered in a purple paper. This is a thicker, more construction paper-like covering.
This one has string on it.
Yes, this one is bound with a golden string. And then this one is more of like a red leather. In these, you can see, just like our yearbooks today, they show class photos, clubs, sports, and they have a lot of poems and songs that they would keep in their Wawas as well.
Not a lot of pictures, it doesn't seem like.
Like this one is just a lot on the football. There's photos. The Girls Athletic Association. From 1909. We have 1924. This is senior class B. That's what it says. Wow. And it lists the officers. and advisors. And again, another girls club. Team 28. This one
Some individual photos.
has some individuals and writing in
Now,
it.
what's it say? Read one. What a fine.
Yale Duke you make. Here's to your success, Annette Morgan.
Huh. Not like see ya all summer or anything like that.
Yeah. More people writing to Annette.
Wow, look at that football team.
Alrighty.
Huh. Those are very cool.
Thanks for watching. Join us next time to see what fun and exciting things we can find in the museum.
At Town Toyota, we believe in our community, and we're proud to support this broadcast of local sports. Town Toyota defines reliability and value in both its products and in the dealership itself. We are home to legendary products like the RAV4, Highlander, and Camry, not to mention Tundras and Tacoma trucks. Of course, we offer service for everything we sell and a great selection of pre-owned and certified vehicles as well. So enjoy the game and visit Town Toyota for all your automotive needs.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snow blowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And we're back live. Let's wrap up the program with that all-important weather forecast. Oh my. Sunny, mostly sunny, hot, yeah. Looking good, about 90 today. Nice light breeze, 59 for the overnight low tonight. One more day of pretty warm weather on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday night, a little windy at times as a Pacific cold front is going to come on in and cool us down a little bit on Friday. Strongest winds look to be on Thursday, so we're going to keep a very close eye on what's going to happen on Thursday. Any kind of grass or sage or brush fire or wildfire of any kind could really take off because we're going to be dealing with very warm temperatures. We're going to be dealing with stronger winds, not really strong winds, but stronger winds anyway, and also very low relative humidity. It'll be dipping down into the teens, so I would not be surprised at all if we saw a red flag warning on Thursday. But that cold front leaves the area come Friday night. We're looking good Saturday, sunshine and 90, 93 on Sunday, 96 on Monday. We can safely call that hot, and we could even get to triple digits by this time next week. Maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday. Could be up to 100 degrees when it's July. Everybody have a great Tuesday. Make it a safe one. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.